Kasautii Zindagii Kay 2018 TV series. Kasautii Zindagii Kay transl. Trials of Life was an Indian drama television series produced by Ekta Kapoor under Balaji Telefilms. It is a rebooted version of Kapoor's 2001 popular soap opera with the same name. The show aired from 25 September 2018 to 3 October 2020 on Star Plus and starred Parth Samthaan, Fernandes, Hina Khan, Karan Singh Grover, Aamna, Sharif and Karen Patel. Premise: soulmates Anurag and Priyana are like two tracks on a railway line which can run together but never meet. Their story is not about living with each other, but living for each other. They fall in love only for fate to time and again separate them. Plot: Anurag's father Malloy and Priyana's father Rajesh are good friends set in Kolkata. Despite studying in the same university, Anurag and Priyana have never conversed. Fate keeps pulling them towards each other. Once they get to know each other, they form a bond of trust, understanding and friendship. Priyana falls in love with Anurag. Meanwhile, Kamalika Chaubey enters, who is an arrogant and cunning Bengali beauty and Bihar's stylish girl. She attracts male attention wherever she goes. While Anurag realizes his feelings for Priyana, Kamalika develops interest in him. He and Priyana confess their feelings, consummate their relationship, and plan to marry. Seeing them plan a future together, Kamalika decides to create misunderstandings between them. She asks Anurag to marry her in order to save Priyana's house. Compelled, he agrees. Unaware of the truth, Priyana is shocked. Dazed, she gets hit by a car and is hospitalized. She is revealed to be pregnant. Hurt and rebellious, Priyana enters the Basu house. She successfully exposes Kamalika, who is arrested. Kamalika escapes and returns to kill Priyana, but instead falls down the terrace and goes missing. Anurag and Priyana happily reunite and get engaged. Rishabh Bajaj, a selfish and arrogant businessman, arrives. A widower, he falsely frames Anurag and gets him jailed. Further, Bajaj asks Priyana to marry him in exchange of Anurag's freedom. Helpless, she agrees and they marry. Heartbroken and devastated, Anurag questions Priyana, who lies. He is adamant and refuses to give up on their love. Bajaj reveals to Priyana that he married her for the sake of his daughter Kuki, for whom he wanted a stepmother. He starts falling for Priyana. Knowing that Priyana loves Anurag, Bajaj tries to kill him. Kuki gets hurt while trying to stop Bajaj. Guilty, he steps back. Anurag and Priyana unite. Vengeful, Kamalika makes a comeback with a new face through plastic surgery. Priyana reveals her pregnancy to Anurag, and the two rejoice as they get ready to marry. Kamalika causes Anurag's accident intentionally. 1 month later, Anurag has lost his memory. Having faked her identity, Kamalika misuses the opportunity to make Anurag and the Basu family believe that they got married. Priyana learns her identity and decides to expose her, but chooses to refrain in fear of affecting Anurag's brain and memory. Kamalika tries to kill Priyana and her unborn child many times but fails. Priyana decides to marry Kamalika's accomplice Viraj, whose truth she is unaware about. The wedding is called off. Priyana gives birth to a baby girl, Sneha. Anurag regains his memory. Kamalika threatens to frame Priyana for murder by leaking footage of her pushing Viraj off a cliff. Kamalika asks Anurag to push Priyana off the bridge. Bajaj, who still has feelings for Priyana, asks Anurag to follow the plan, hoping to keep them away. When he refuses, Kamalika states how he has the option to save Priyana from murder charges and lifelong jail by only pretending to betray her. Helpless, Anurag asks Bajaj to promise to save Priyana. Anurag pushes Priyana off a bridge. As per the plan, she is rescued by Bajaj. Kamalika abandons Sneha in an orphanage and bribes a worker to burn it down. Reeling from heartbreak and shock, Priyana reaches the orphanage and is devastated to see it on fire. Sneha is presumed dead. Broken beyond belief, Priyana moves to London. 8 years later, Priyana is a successful businesswoman in London and maintains a formal relation with Bajaj. Kaki is grown up. Anurag's business thrives in Kolkata. Priyana detests him for his betrayal while Anurag hates Kamalika and lives in constant guilt. He and Kamalika have a daughter Dia whom Anurag loves dearly. Kamalika has taken over Basu house. Priyana heads to Kolkata for revenge. Anurag's nephew Kaushik and Kaki meet and start off by disliking each other, constantly bickering every time. Priyana and Anurag meet Samita, an orphan, and feel a strong connection to her, unaware that she is Sneha. Kaki and Kaushik fall in love. Anurag and Priyana find out that Samita is Sneha. Kaki and Kaushik confess their feelings. Anurag breaks ties with Kamalika, reveals the truth to Priyana and shows her the proofs he collected. He explains how he tried to constantly contact her, but was isolated from any contact to her by Bajaj. Anurag and Priyana reunite, reminiscing the time they lost, the pain they faced, and get married. Enraged, Kamalika tries to stab Priyana but ends up wounding Bajaj, who stabs and kills her in return. Before dying, Bajaj apologizes to Priyana and Anurag for selfishly separating them. He asks them to look after Kaki. 1 month later, the show ends on a good note, as Anurag and Priyana begin their happy life with their daughter Sneha. Cast: Main: Parth Samthaan as Anurag Basu, Mohini and Maloy's son, Rakhai Naivdite and Tapper's brother, Priyana's husband, Kamalika's former husband, Dia and Sneha's father 2018-2020. Erica Fernandes as Priyana Sharma, Veena and Rajesh's daughter, Shakar, Shivani and Mahesh's sister, Anurag's wife, Rishabh's former wife, Sneha's mother 2018-2020. Hina Khan / Aamna Sharif as Kamalika Chaubey, Sidhan's daughter, Miss Khan, and Ranit's sister, Anurag's former wife, Dia's mother 2018-2019 / 2019-2020. Karan Singh Grover / Karan Patel as Rishabh Bajaj, Kaki's father, Priyana's former husband 2019-2020 / 2020. Recurring: Shaphavi Choksi as Mohini Basu, Maloy's wife, Rakhai, Naivdita Anurag and Tapper's mother 2018-2020. Uday Taikar as Maloy Basu, Prosenjit's brother, Rajesh's childhood friend, Mohini's husband, Rakhai, Naivdita, Anurag, and Tapper's father 2018-2020. Kanapriya Pandit as Veena Sharma, Rajesh's wife, Shekhar, Priyana Shivani and Mahesh's mother 2018-2020. Kali Prasad Mukherjee as Rajesh Sharma, Maloy's childhood friend, Veena's husband, Shekhar, Priyana Shivani and Mahesh's father 2018-2019. Pooja Banerjee as Naivdita Basu Sengupta, Mohini and Maloy's daughter, Rakhai Anurag and Tapper's sister, Anupam's wife 2018-2020. Sahil Anand as Anupam Sengupta, Naivdita's husband 2018-2020. Upasana Salunk / Priyo Mahajan / Astha Abhay / Garima Parahar as Tapper Basu, Mohini and Maloy's daughter, Rakhai, Naivdita, and Anurag's sister, Sahil's former fiancé 2018-2019 / 2020 / 2020. Karan Arora as Shekhar Sharma, Veena and Rajesh's son, Priyana, Shivani and Mahesh's brother, Suman's husband 2018-2020. Antara Banerjee / Ritu Chauhan as Suman Sharma, Shekhar's wife 2018-2019 / 2019-2020. Charvi Saraf as Shivani Sharma, Veena and Rajesh's daughter, Shekhar, Priyana and Mahesh's sister, Ranit's fiancé 2018-2020. Keen 2020. Emradal Das as Mahesh Sharma, Veena and Rajesh's son, Shekhar, Priyana and Shivani's brother, Kajal's husband 2020. Adi Irani as Siddhant Chaubey, Kamalika, Miss Khan, and Ranit's father 2018-2019. Arayar Agarwal as Miss Ka Chaubey, Siddharth's daughter Kamalika, and Ronit's sister, Anurag's former girlfriend 2018-2019, Taran Mahalani as Ronit Chaubey, Siddharth's son, Kamalika, and Miska's brother, Shivani's fiancé 2018-2020. Aditi Samuel as Kuki Bajaj, Samira, and Rishabh's daughter 2020. Kunal Thakur/Akish Jaga as Kaushik Chakraborty, Rakhai, and Sabad's son, Tanisha's brother 2020/2020. 20. Jaya Naragara as young Kuki Bajaj, Samira, and Rishabh's daughter 2019. Sumaya Khan/Tashin Shah as Sneha Basu, Prina and Anurag's daughter 2020/2020. Karan Banashali as young Mahesh Sharma, Veena and Rajesh's son, Shakar, Prina and Shivani's brother 2018-2020. Bhavya Sachdeva as Sahil Sinha, Vikrant's cousin, Tapper's former fiancé 2019. Siddharth Shivpuri as Vikrant Sinha, Sahil's cousin, Kamalika's former boyfriend, Anurag's business rival 2019. Alka Amin as Sharda Bajaj, Rishabh's and Tanvi's adoptive mother 2019. Sania Ayodhya as Tanvi Bajaj, Sharda's adopted daughter, Rishabh's family friend 2019. Sanjay Swaraj as Naveen Chandra Chattopadhyay, Renita and Madhuri's husband, Mohini's namesake brother, Priyana's former fiancé 2018-2019. Madhuri Naik as Madhuri Chattopadhyay, Naveen's first wife 2018. Piali Munshi as Renita Chattopadhyay, Naveen's second wife 2018. Parul Chaudhary as Rakhai Basu, Mohini and Malu's daughter Naivdita, Anurag and Tapper's sister. Urfi Javed as Tanisha Chakraborty, Rakhai, and Sabad's daughter Kaushik's sister 2020. Namak Paul as Viraj Bardwaj, Priyana's former fiancé, Kamalika's accomplice 2020. Shivika Rishi/Arish Dameta as Dia Basu, Kamalika's adopted daughter 2020. Minal Magam as Kajal Sharma, Mahesh's wife 2020. Shahrukh Sadri as Prosenjit Basu, Maloi's brother, Kuman's husband, Muli's father, Rakhai Naivdita, Anurag, and Tapper's uncle 2019. Anjali Gupta as Kumud Basu, Prosenjit's wife, Muli's mother, Rakhai, Naivdita, Anurag and Tapper's and 2019. Koral Bamra as Muli Basu, Kumud and Prosenjit's daughter, Rakhai, Naivdita, Anurag, and Tapper's cousin 2019. Kunal Madhawala as Rahel Das Basu, Industries Manager 2019. Chandrahas Pandey as Shandu, Mr. Bajaj's assistant/family caretaker 2019. Siddharth Banerjee as Sid, Anurag's best friend 2018. And you Jadhav/Michelle Shah as Anjali, Priyana's best friend 2018. Monica Sharma as Katie, Priyana and Anjali's best friend, Rohan's wife 2018. Naveen Sharma as Rohan, Anurag, Sid, Priyana and Anjali's best friend, Katie's husband 2018. Rupali Prakash as Manisha, Kamalika's friend 2018. Rohit Sharma as Gaurav, Kamalika's former boyfriend 2018. Neelu Dagra as Rendita, Mohini's friend 2020. Ren 2020. K20. In 2020. Hidden 22. 2022. 22. 22. Riyama Vora as Priyanka, Sneha's caretaker 2020. Amit Raghuvanshi/Ashish Bardwaj as Monish, Kaushik's friend 2020/2020. 2020. Sabina Jat as Anushka, Kuki's friend 2020. Guests: Siddharth Malhotra as Apay Singh, to promote Javariya Jodi 2019. Karaniti Chopra as Babli Yadav, to promote Javariya Jodi 2019. Vikram Singh Chauhan as Amin Junaid Khan, to promote Ye Jadoo Hai Jin Ka. 2019. Aditi Sharma as Roshni Ahmed to promote Ye Jadoo Hai Jin Ka. 2019. Ayushman Khurrana as Karanveer Singh to promote Dream Girl. 2019. Nusrat Bharucha as Mahai Rajput to promote Dream Girl. 2019. Rupali Ganguly as Anupama to promote Anupama. 2020. T20 T20 and T20 K20 and T20 T20. Sudhanshu Pandey as Vanraj to promote Anupama. 2020 T20 T20. Muskan Bamni as Pakhai to promote Anupama. 2020. Production Development Kasautii Zindagii Kay is a reboot of the 2001 series of the same name, which was also produced by Ekta Kapoor under Balaji Telefilms for Star Plus. In February 2018, Ekta Kapoor revealed that she was creating a rebooted version of one of her old series, stating, "With a piece of my broken heart I wrote in 2001, 17 years later, I reboot it, dipping in personal pain and lacing it with experiences of an older me, bringing back my most successful love saga that ran for 9 years. Again, I'll take my broken heart and make it into art." On 4 July 2018, Kapoor had a meeting with Star Plus regarding the reboot. On 21 July 2018, she announced the Kasautii Zindagii Kay reboot by sharing the teaser of the series. In September 2018, Shah Rukh Khan introduced Parth Samthaan and Ekta Fernandes as Anurag Basu and Priyana Sharma in the first promo of the series. Kapoor revealed that the character Anurag was named after her director friend, and the character Priyana was named after her father's friend Prem Chopra's daughter. In September 2018, 25-feet statues of the lead characters Anurag and Priyana were unveiled across 10 cities in India by popular actors to promote the series. The storyline took an 8 years leap in February 2020. Casting Ekta Fernandes was cast to portray Priyana Sharma. Later, Parth Samthaan was confirmed to play Anurag Basu. I had a few personality traits in mind for Anurag and Priyana. Anurag had to be the kind of man who doesn't scream to get noticed, but once you notice him, he's unforgettable. For me, Parth was an obvious choice because he has unbelievable eyes. I have not seen a man whose eyes reflect that depth even in photographs. Priyana is someone who comes across as light-hearted, but has a lot of depth. When I saw the promo of Erika's show, Kuch Rang Pyar Ki A's By, I knew I wanted to cast her. Uday Taikar, Shaphavi Choksi, Kali Prasad Mukherjee, Kanapriya Pandit, Pooja Banerjee, and Sahil Anand were cast to play prominent roles of Malloy Basu, Mohini Basu, Rajesh Sharma, Veena Sharma, Naivdita Basu, and Anupam Sengupta. In October 2018, Hina Khan was introduced as Kamalika Chaubey. In June 2019, Karan Singh Grover was introduced as Rishabh Bajaj. Initially, Upasana Salant played Tapra Basu, but was soon replaced by Priyal Mahajan, who was again replaced by Asta Abhay in April 2019 and yet again replaced by Garima Parihar in March 2020. In May 2019, Hina Khan took a break from the series. However, in September 2019, Khan confirmed quitting the show and was replaced by Aamna Sharif as Kamalika Chaubey in October 2019. Namak Paul was supposed to enter the series in April 2019 as Vikrant Sinha. However, he chose the lead role in Kavach Mahashivratri over Kasautii. Siddharth Shivpuri was then cast to play Vikrant. In January 2020, Paul finally joined the cast, this time as Viraj Bhardwaj. In March 2020, Karan Singh Grover returned to play Rishabh Bajaj after his break. Post his return, the series took an 8-year leap. Various new additions were introduced including Parul Chaudhary, Kunal Thakur, Urfi Javed, Sumaya Khan, Emridul Das and Minal Magam. In June 2020, when filming was about to resume post a halt owing to the coronavirus pandemic, it was confirmed that Grover will not be returning. On 25 June 2020, soon after, Hina Khan was replaced by Tashin Shah as Sneha Basu. Kunal Thakur also decided to not return to shoot owing to the pandemic and was replaced by Akish Jaga as Kaushik Basu. Sahil Anand, who played Anupam Sengupta, also confirmed not returning post the outbreak. But he decided to return in September 2020 to wrap up the series, which went off air on 3 October 2020. Filming Kasautii was mainly filmed in Mumbai in Kilik Nixon studio, but certain scenes were shot in Kolkata, as the show's storyline was based in West Bengal. The promo, which featured Shah Rukh Khan introducing Parth Samthaan, Ekta Fernandes, Karan Singh Grover, Pooja Banerjee, Sahil Anand, and Taran Mahalani, flew to Zurich in June 2019 to shoot the Switzerland track. On 12 July 2020, Parth Samthaan was tested positive for coronavirus, and the shooting of the series was halted. The shooting was resumed on 17 July 2020 while the story was tweaked for Samthan's absence until his return. Ekta Fernandes and Aamna Sharif tested negative, but were advised to shoot from their respective homes. After a week, Fernandes decided to resume shooting on the sets. On recovering and testing negative, Samthaan quarantined himself for 2 weeks and returned to shoot on 6 August 2020. The shooting of the series wrapped up on 18 September 2020. Broadcast Kasautii Zindagii Kay was supposed to premiere on 10 September 2018, but was postponed to 25 September 2018. On 19 March 2020, the shoot of the series was indefinitely halted due to the coronavirus outbreak. The airing halted on 23 March 2020 when the remaining episodes were broadcast. After more than 3 months, the filming of the series was resumed on 27 June 2020. New episodes started airing from 13 July 2020 on Star Plus. Cancellation. With a drastic decrease in ratings post the coronavirus outbreak, in September 2020 the series was confirmed to go off air in October 2020. The last episode of Kasautii aired on 3 October 2020. Reception. Critical response. Shweta Kesari from India Today said, Parth Samthaan and Ekta Fernandes beautifully fit into the shoes of punctual Anurag and carefree Priyana. The grandeur and magnificence of the show will make your jaw drop. The makers have tried to retain the essence of Kolkata and Bengalis. Overall, the show is a complete package of entertainment for soap viewers. Salmiest ratings. Kasautii opened with a rating of 5.5 million impressions in its debut week, occupying the 10th position in Hindi GEC Urban. However, the following week it dropped to the 15th position with 4.6 million impressions and to the 18th position with 4.6 million impressions the next week. The following week, the viewership further dipped to 4.3 million, occupying the 13th position. Week 43 saw the show gaining 4.9 million impressions and occupying the 15th position, followed by the 12th position with 5.2 impressions the next week. In week 51, it entered the top 10, occupying the 7th position with 6.3 million impressions, while the following week it dropped to the 11th position with 5.1 million impressions. In the first week of 2019, it further decreased to the 16th position with 4.8 million impressions, and further to 4.5 million impressions the next week, occupying the 15th position in Urban. In week 5 it was at the 15th position, garnering 4.6 million impressions. Soon, the ratings started to increase and it re-entered top 10 at week 9 with a TRP of 1.8, and the next week it rose to the 8th position, garnering a TRP of 2.0. The next week it increased to 2.2, occupying the 4th position, and to 2.3 the following week at the 6th position. In week 13, it garnered a TRP of 2.2, occupying the 6th position, and the following week, a TRP of 2.3. The next week, it maintained the same position and TRP. It maintained its TRP of 2.2 and 2.3 in the consecutive weeks, until in week 19, when it rose to third position with TRP of 2.6, while in week 20, it topped the list for the first time with 6.5 million impressions and a TRP of 3 in urban and at third position in Hindi GEC. Overall, the following week it was the second most watched in urban with 6.8 million impressions and fourth most overall with 11 million impressions. However, on week 22, after Hina Khan's exit, it dropped down to fourth position and the following week to the fifth position, garnering 5.2 million impressions. On week 24, it further declined to seventh position with a TRP of 1.9. In week 28, it declined to the eighth position and to the 10th position in week 30 with a TRP of 2.1. In week 38, it was at the 13th position with 4.6 million impressions and dipped further to the 14th position with 4 million impressions in week 40. In week 42, it increased to 4.3 million impressions, occupying the 13th position, and to 4.8 million impressions the following week. In week 46, it dipped to 3.5 million impressions, occupying the 19th position. It increased to 5.3 million impressions days after Aamna Sharif's entry in week 48, occupying the 12th position, and dropped to 5.1 million impressions, occupying the 10th position the following week. In the first week of 2020, the series was at the 12th position with 5 million impressions and TRP of 2.0. In the third week, it was at the 14th position with 5.1 million impressions, while the following week it dropped to the 18th position with 4 million impressions. In the sixth and eighth week, it garnered a TRP of 1.9. Before the introduction of the 8-year leap, the ratings increased, garnering 5.2 million impressions and occupying the 12th position, while the following week it occupied the 14th position with 5.1 million impressions. After a 3-month break, owing to the coronavirus outbreak, the series resumed airing in June 2020, and the ratings of the series saw a drastic drop. Soundtrack: Kasautii Zindagii Kay's title track was sung and recreated by the composers and singers of the original series, Babel Supriyo and Priya Bhattacharya. Adaptations. Awards and nominations.